stop it at 30.
All right, sounds great. All right, so I'm super grateful that we get this opportunity to be together. If you are joining us on Facebook or on YouTube, just want to really encourage you right now, get to a place where you're comfortable, you're ready to really learn and engage and connect. Feel free to reach out to us at the Greater Everyday Podcast at gmail.com, and know that we're excited to be able to be a part of this conversation with you. We're reaching around the globe and reaching folks right here in Virginia, in the Northern Virginia area, and we're just grateful to create and to be a part of a place where we're encouraging people to be greater every single day.
We here? You ready to jump off?
Ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let me get this out of here. Let's do it.
All right, great. So just want to welcome everyone again to the Greater Everyday Podcast. This is a place where we talk about the real issues. We demonize no one, and we also deify no one. We don't believe that anyone's the devil and no one's God. There is the devil and there is God, but that's not us. We're just people in a common fight trying to do what's right. And our goal is that this podcast will be a place where you'll be inspired to have a real conversation and walk away making a decision to be greater every single day. My name is Will, and I'm here with my wife, Tasha.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm here with my brother.
Hey, man, Tom. Welcome. We're back, everybody.
Welcome
back. Welcome back.
GEP team back in the game.
We're back. So you guys have been world traveling.
We have been.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about it off air, but I'm glad that you went.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're back.
Yeah.
So but I'm glad that you went.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you went alone. That is a vibe right there.
That is the vibe.
Yes.
Love that.
We're out of town for a week at a conference. Learning from other ministers, learning from folks that have really invested themselves in the restoration movement, trying to spread the gospel. And this is a connection that we have from the Solomon Foundation. They are a church expansion fund that started 10 years ago that have helped hundreds of churches around the country and around the world to be able to buy buildings, improve the buildings that they have, and they're specifically focused on helping churches in the restoration movement. So churches that are really committed to sound salvation doctrine and calling people back to restoring biblical Christianity. So it was really good, encouraging time to connect and get to know people. But we're grateful to be back home and back in the fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I be selfish for a minute?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So how was the beach?
Okay, let me just say this. We worked hard and we played hard.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
We stayed a couple of extra days.
Oh, really?
Yes. We stayed a couple of extra days. And I'm grateful for my husband. He had that idea. I was like, wow, you are learning how to be healthy and rest.
We tried, man.
Look at you.
Healthy 2021.
Yes.
All right.
So we stayed a couple extra days and just were with each other. We literally had another honeymoon for those last 2 days.
Really? That's the way you feel?
Yes. I'm so close to him. I don't know what to do with myself.
Hey, good job, bro. I'm
Yes.
back, man. I'm ready to try to stay in the game, man.
You're hashtag winning right now.
Yes.
Staying in the game. Staying in the game.
That is what they call winning off the field.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
That's a man thing that you might not know, but that's what we call winning off the field. When you make small little decisions like that that you notice,
Yes.
that's what we call winning off the field.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, he definitely won. Let me just say.
let me find the duck button. Pause.
PG-13.
So the beach was beautiful.
Okay.
No, man. We all about it. Man.
Okay, you guys see what Hawaii does to you?
Yeah,
It's not this. It's Hawaii.
That's what they're doing. So we're super grateful for that. But super grateful just to be here. I mean, this has been an absolutely incredible weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And today in particular was just incredible, man. I mean, after 18 months of just back and forth. And last fall, we were able to meet for about 3 months in our campus down in Fredericksburg. Super grateful for that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And after God just gave us the opportunity to meet briefly, we were back in lockdown again.
Mm-hmm.
And today, May 16th, 2021, we're able to meet up, and it was amazing. I mean, we had about 150 people that were there today. The room was packed. We're really fortunate that we are among a small group of churches, and hopefully a growing group of churches that have a herd immunity. So we're a herd immunity faith community The majority of our congregation have gotten the vaccine. And we followed CDC guidelines and went a little bit above, because the CDC guidelines changed this week, where you can have in-person gatherings indoors without masks if you're vaccinated. But we decided, just for the safety of everyone, we kept our masks on, except for those that were on the stage, consistent with the guidelines. And but it was just amazing, man, just being with everyone, seeing the fellowship, feeling the love. And at the same time, we had our digital service. So much love to the digital service. I know y'all were on the digital service doing the thing.
Yeah,
and,
Kai did his thing.
Man, Kai did, preached on both.
Yes.
Preached on both. So
he did an incredible job today.
Yeah.
It's vulnerable, and I like it when people are vulnerable.
Yeah, that's helpful.
That's when I connect to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Kai. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
Kai, if you're watching this, like right now, if somebody can tag Kai, or I might tag Kai, let me know if you're here. I'll send you a link. I would love for you to pop in and just give me your experience about coming back in and preaching and how that was.
Absolutely.
If you can see this in the next 40 minutes.
Yes.
After that, we'll pop you on.
I will say that we would love that. He did a fantastic job. He was grinding all day. God brought out a ton of people. And, they've been here for almost a year, but they've not been able to meet with the whole congregation. And
literally
really,
just a handful of people are the ones they've actually met in person.
So they met a lot of people today for the first time, which was a real blessing. So we're just super encouraged by how the Holy Spirit moved. And we had a lot of friends that came out for the first time. So people that found us online, there's just been so many miracle stories with people finding us on Instagram, finding us on Facebook, finding us through our website, and finding us on YouTube. And so super grateful just for folks coming far and wide.
Yeah. Wow. When you told me how many people were there, I was like, wow, people. But that gives me confidence that people are just like, okay, as soon as you give us the signal, we're back in the house. We're back in the house. Because I understand. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but our team works really hard to do a digital service.
Yeah.
But I think back to when we first started this podcast, and then we decided that we were up in your loft and we were recording, and you trying to transition into another wave of okay, all right, I don't like that. Start again. You were like, wow, I can start again. I didn't like that one. Let's record it again. And then you're like, I don't really like this. And then you went and all three of you guys just caught a wave. And we've done amazing things online, but I know you, and I know you like being in front of people, inspiring people, and so I'm glad that we're on our way back.
Yeah, man, and you, brother, I'm just so grateful, man. Grateful. I mean, I remember the first time we did the service recorded at Leesylvania State Park. Just me and you out there doing it, and it was that
kid was throwing water and throwing rocks in the water,
and the dog was barking.
Yeah,
and
we recorded that 10 times.
Oh my god!
It was just like, really well. He was like, let's pray. Dunk. It's like.
Can somebody stop that child?
Yeah. It was funny because we talked to them after. They were like, oh, you guys are recording the church service. We were like, yeah, you should come out. And he was like, I heard of you. He's like, really? Yeah, you should, check us out online. We're gonna start doing it online. And they were like, oh, really? Like, yeah, but if you knew we were doing a church service, why didn't you get your kid?
I know.
You
weren't thinking about all that.
No, they weren't catching.
No.
So we've been, these past 18 months, man, we've been on a journey.
Yes.
And it's really been amazing just to see what God's doing. So we're just super grateful for God's mercy, super grateful for God's grace. And I just feel like this week, honestly, God took us by the hand.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're still doing our digital service too.
Yes.
We were recording
hybrid
worship today, and we were talking about how, wow, it's amazing how we have such a high quality product in our services on Sunday, being such a small church. I mean, really,
Kai, Marcus,
this is a miracle.
The worship team, you guys delivering, quality messages. I mean, it's we're doing it as a team.
It's amazing.
So
I'm glad we get to have both.
I'm texting them now to see if you'll hop on.
Oh, absolutely, man. Please do.
Because now we're in a new stage. There's digital's here to stay.
Digital's here to stay.
We always have digital, but now we have in person as well.
Yeah, so we're totally, and just for everybody that's listening to the Greater Everyday podcast, we have a commitment as a church. We're going hybrid.
That's right.
So we're hybrid, man. So we're going to stay digital, and we're going to do in person. And then In a couple months, we're going to go in person in 2 locations. And so we're really excited about what God's doing with all that. But, everything we do is informed by faith. And so I want to encourage you just to take a look. We're going to take a look starting over in the book of Ephesians. And in Ephesians chapter 4.
Ephesians 4. Let me hop over for you.
And we're going to go over to verse 12.
Ephesians.
And we're going to read 12.
Ephesians 4.
And we're going to go 12 through 19.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me throw it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
He's like, what time? And I'm getting ready to say, right now.
Right now. Hope you're not busy, like eating dinner or something.
Yeah.
What time? How do we do a New Year? Did we stream it?
We didn't stream
Record
it. We recorded a portion of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So yeah.
that'll be available as well.
That'll be that tonight. Today's won't be available. We cut it short,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll make the others available in the
Okay.
future.
All right.
Yeah. So Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 12, and here it says to prepare God's people. So basically, God gives gifts to everyone, and gives people positions of responsibility in the church, and the role of everyone that serves in the church in positions of responsibility, whether it's evangelists or pastors or teachers. It says is to prepare God's people for works of service, so the body of Christ may be built up until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God, and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. Then we'll no longer be infants, tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching and by the cunning and craftiness of men in their deceitful scheming. Instead of doing that, we'll speak the truth in love. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will in all things grow up in him who is the head, that is Christ. From him, the whole body is joined and held together by every supporting ligament, grows and builds itself up in love as each part does its work. So I tell you this and insist on it in the Lord, verse 17, that you must no longer live as the Gentiles do in the futility of their thinking. They're darkened in their understanding and separated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them due to the hardening of their hearts. Having lost all sensitivity, they've given themselves over to sensuality in order to indulge in every kind of impurity with a continual lust for more.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if this doesn't define where we're at, we've just got people blown back and forth by the winds of teaching, and really led astray by the cunning and craftiness of men in their deceitful scheming. I mean, truthfully, we had a resource-based, state of emergency that was put into place here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it was disturbing. I mean, straight up,
a little funny, a little odd.
How people responded. I mean, people started hoarding gas, and there's the same people that I'm sure were hoarding toilet paper. So they start hoarding gas. But it's okay if you get an extra, 10, 20 gallons of gas, I guess.
No. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Like 10 gallons is like your car.
Yeah, 5 gallons.
Extra 5 gallons.
5-gallon little container.
No, 5 gallon.
That's it's like the gas can.
Yes, the gas
That's
can.
1 gallon.
Right.
Oh, that's 1 gallon.
That's 1 gallon.
1 gallon.
It's okay if you get 1. It's
right.
okay if you get 5.
How many gallons do you think go in those big old Tupperware tubs?
But when you start putting it, what I'm saying is when you start putting that in a plastic bag.
Yes.
Right. So now, Anton, you posted the thing about the plastic bag gas.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, no, man, you messing around, right? I thought you were clowning.
No.
But then I realized the folks were hoarding the gas, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
And honestly, look, I'm not mad at anybody that did that.
I am.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm
concerned.
Because if you think about it, like there's only a certain group of segment of our society who can actually do that. Right? Because if you think about it, if you're poor, right, and if you're poor, you're more than likely your tank is probably never full all the time. Once it gets to a certain point, top it off. You never do that. You get gas as you need it.
That's
right.
You're like, I got $10. I will get $10.
Yeah. Right. Yes. You get what you can get. You get what you need. You don't go over if you budget $25 maybe a week for gas and that right. And you get what you can get. Yep. So if you're poor, you don't do that. If you're wealthy, you probably have your own system, private gas or something where you can go where normal people don't go to get gas. So you don't really care either. It's only us that are like kind of right in the middle that say, you know what, I have the disposable income. I kind of pay attention to the news. I think something's going on. I'm not going to hoard it.
Yeah.
Right? When the last time you went into somebody's house who was a little bit less fortunate and they had a lot of something? Not a lot of times. You know, and so those are the people I thought about, like the person I pay to cut my lawn. Now, if I go and hoard gas, he can't work because I hoarded gas. I didn't really need it. Now, of course, we're not talking about somebody who was on E and needed gas. Right. They probably are stuck.
But that's not hoarding. That's just filling up.
That's just filling up your tank.
Yes.
But honestly, but here's what I'm saying though: people are blown back and forth by the winds of teaching because of a lack of maturity.
Yeah.
And I think what we've got to recognize for those of us that are faith leaders, those of us that walk by faith and are trying to live out the gospel, is we've got to mature and we've got to ensure that we're not like the rest of the world, that we're not like the world that's out there. We're not living based on the futility of our thinking. We're not living in a life or going back to a life where our thinking is darkened, and we're not giving ourselves over to sensuality because we've lost touch with sensitivity. Because there's a sensitivity that's lacking when you don't think about other people and you think, I just need to hoard.
Yeah. Hey, Kai, we're talking about hoarding gas. How's it going?
Hey, guys.
There he is. Oh, Kai. So we're talking about your sermon today.
Yes.
It was fire. And then we got into this tangent talking about gas.
That's a natural transition to me.
Yes.
What's that?
That's a natural transition to me.
Yeah, it's a natural transition. Parable of the sower to gas. So tell us a little bit about service today and what your experience was like in service today.
Service was great. It was so great to drive in and just see the parking lot filled with cars. I mean, it's a visual that I hadn't seen yet. I mean, I know we reopened last fall, but it was in a much smaller capacity. And for all intents and purposes, it still felt like church during quarantine. Yeah. And I know we're still in quarantine, but we had over 150 that were registered, and it just felt like church. And
like real church, right?
Like the spirit was alive. People, you could tell people were just so fired up and excited to meet together. People were happy to be together. We were singing songs. It's just not the same in your living room, because you're not, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really singing it when I'm watching it.
What? I am, bro. I am.
Tasha is.
I am.
Okay, I'm just
time.
Listening to it.
I'm listening to it. I turn it up. My wife's singing while she's making food or like pouring coffee. And she's singing it.
I have sung it, but my kids have said, please stop. They're like, please stop. Please stop. Please.
But I'm always trying to get everybody else in my house to do it.
It was so great to sing songs, to be together, and just to have a visual of what the church looks like, like somewhat full. And it was so cool to attach, because we've been here over 9 months, and we hadn't met everyone, and so it was good to attach faces to screen. And so some people were like, "Oh, I didn't know you were that tall," and then some people are like, "Oh, I didn't know you looked like that." So,
yes.
I don't know.
Hey, Kai, your thighs are amazing.
Kai, your socks are amazing.
We see the deadlift on Facebook. Now we like match the deadlift to the face. Person.
Like,
okay, all right.
But you know what, Kai? So many people. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. So many people have the same experience you had today, because we hadn't seen each other. Some people hadn't met each other at all. People moved here during the pandemic. They're like, "Who are you? Hey, what's your name?" And we see people on the screen. They look so different when you see them in person.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a crazy experience today. Everybody was introducing everyone to everyone.
I know. I feel like we need to do like a 5-minute fellowship break where we just meet the person next to us.
Yes.
Right. I remember we did when I first started coming to FCS. We did that. We did that, and that's how I met a lot of people there.
It's true. There are people that have gotten baptized that most people haven't even met.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Digitally only.
That's a good idea, by the way. I'm all about that.
It was just a really good time just to be with the saints, and it just felt really special. I don't know. It was our first. It's only going to go up from here. And it's exciting to see some familiar faces, but there were a lot of guests and visitors as well. So it was just really good timing for sure. And I didn't realize how much I needed it for my own faith, that I had missed this, congregating with the saints.
So Kai, what was it like preaching in person after preaching digitally for so long?
Preaching is so different in front of a camera, and it's so different with people. And I felt like in front of a camera, I had to learn what that's like, and I had to get adjusted to that. Preaching in front of people, I didn't really have to adjust to, because that's kind of what I was familiar with before. So it was just really great to be just interacting with people, because when you're preaching in front of a camera, there's not much interaction.
There's
you're
none.
Very much kind of giving a lecture and a teaching.
This guy knows.
Right. There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. And so you don't know if it's going well or not. You don't know how it's going. You just kind of have an idea in your own head as you're saying the words out loud. But when you're preaching in front of people, you have real-time feedback. So you know, okay, I should share this, I shouldn't share that. You know when to go into this and when not to. When it's in front of a camera, you don't. It's all kind of scripted in your own head, and you just have to go with it, right? You don't get a chance real time to pivot when you're doing in front of a camera. No. You don't.
Yeah, that's true.
I like being in person. I think most preachers will tell you they prefer to be in person over a camera.
I tell you what, you did a fantastic job, man. I appreciate your vulnerability, your realness.
Yeah.
You're really going in, just really helping us with that perspective of really bearing fruit and being what God's calling us to be. So that was fantastic, man.
Yeah. We've only been here, as I mentioned, just a short time. So I just want every chance and opportunity for people to see myself or my wife, to get to know us a little bit more, and get to know us is all of our flaws and weaknesses. I just feel like that's so important, because the church needs to know that we are all people, and we struggle like they do, we bleed like they do, we suffer like they do, and we hurt like they do, and we have a hard time processing all of that equally as they do, because we're all human, just trying to get to heaven.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So tell me, so what are you most excited about coming into this summer? Because this will be your first summer for real with people.
Yeah.
Because the last summer that you had, it was quarantine summer here.
Right.
So what are you excited about here in Virginia this summer?
Honestly, I'm excited for the cookouts, the barbecue, the grilling, and really all the events that we'll have in person at the building. Because last year the building was just bought, it was just renovated, so we didn't really get. It was all like cleanup duty, right, and like renovation duty. But now we get to enjoy. So I just feel like we bought it. Now we had to prep it to meet, and we couldn't meet, and now it's like, all right, let's enjoy what we built. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, is being able to use the building. We got like the playground now,
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The secondary building's cleaned out. So we've already had some our family groups already met at the secondary building. So I'm looking forward to some cookouts, some maybe bonfires, all of that. Yeah. So it was and I think on top of meeting in person for church, some family groups have started to meet in person with their family groups, and let me tell you, a lot of us miss it. We had a men's family group last Friday, and me and all the brothers in our family group, we met at 7:30 for steaks over at Mike Daywalt's, and let me tell you, we left the Daywalt's at 1:30 a.m.
Wow.
We left at 1:30 a.m. just talking and catching up, and I just think people just miss that. People just miss that
and then
fellowship.
in that way, this pandemic's been good for us. You know, it's helped us to really appreciate each other and to know, you know, this when we get a chance to meet together, this is special. You know, this is precious. This is a momentous moment, you know? And I don't know that I think we probably took that for granted before because we consistently met with one another. And now that we have had this opportunity to miss it, we really do. So I'm hoping everybody comes back with a vengeance. You know, they're like, I'm not missing nothing. I want to be in person, but whatever I can be in person for, I hope that's how people are, man. It looked like that's what people were like today.
It did.
You know, like, I love this.
It did. It sure did, man. So let me ask you this. So what are your big dreams for this Rappahannock campus? So you're there in the Rappahannock campus. It's really your time to really get your teeth sunk into the work there. So tell us about your big dreams there.
Yeah, I believe that this group of around 90 or 100 can easily multiply into more campuses. And right now we're in a building that seats at most 320, right? And that doesn't include guests and visitors. And if we keep growing, which we're going to, I don't see why we can't have multiple services on Sunday, because we're just not going to be able to fit everybody.
Yeah.
And so I think that our new playground is also going to be a place for the neighborhood and community. And some people have already started that aren't even part of the church see the playground. They've already played in it from what I've been told from the neighbors. And we have that great harvest coming up. So I really want to communicate to the Spotsylvania County, the Stafford County, and the city of Fredericksburg that we are the Potomac Valley Church, and we are here to serve the community and shed light into a world that's very, very dark by serving it and providing opportunities how we can make the community better for Jesus. So my wife and myself, we have a vision to really build healthy families and a healthy community. And I believe as a result, the church will grow. The church will grow as we build in a very healthy way. So I'm excited one day for multiple services and multiple campuses. This is just Rappahannock for now, right?
Yes.
But that's all an arbitrary designation, right? So there's no reason why there can't be a Stafford campus, a Fredericksburg campus, a Spotsylvania campus. I mean, these are all arbitrary designations, right? At one point, there was no Rappahannock campus. There was no Prince William campus. There was just the Potomac Valley Church.
That's right.
And so all these kind of splits, divisions are completely arbitrary. And so I'm excited to where we're going to go with the real life discipleship training and raising up leaders, because eventually that's what we're going to need is more family group leaders, more team workers, more one-day campus interns, and more campus leaders for these different campuses. So I'm excited for the future. I know that right now we're in a world that's dark. We're in a world that's confused. The dominating spiritual reality is fear, and the dominating spiritual reality is one of mistrust. But I think we really can have an opportunity to win the world in this kind of vacuum that we're in.
That's awesome. Man, I'm fired up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Kai, thanks for hanging out. But I really appreciate, man, you guys saw me texting. I just texted him.
Yeah.
I was like, can you hop on? We were talking about the service, and we were talking about, you doing both services.
Yeah.
Both digital and live. So I just wanted to get your take on, just your kind of first experience coming back after, I guess we are still in the pandemic, but our reopening.
Yes.
Of in-person services.
For Potomac Valley, the pandemic's over, bro.
Yeah.
We're rolling. Look,
we're not claiming it no more.
We're claiming it. We done. Yes. We done. We moving forward.
And one last thing, it's way harder to prepare for the digital one, because it's like I got to make sure the camera's right and like the timing is right. And like I'm recording.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Versus on Sunday, I just gotta show up.
Yeah, and you've actually learned how to film yourself, so kudos to you, man.
Yeah, man.
Learned it all.
Yeah, man. Yeah. 21st century evangelist skills.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Hey, you could drop me anywhere in the world.
That's right.
Just give me an internet connection and I can get it done.
Yes.
If I was in the ancient world, I'd be like, hey, can you just put me on a boat and put me out to shore? Right?
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man. That's how you roll, bro. We're super proud of you, man. We cannot wait to see how God continues to move, and definitely appreciate your vision, your faith, your love for the church and for your family. And man, you killed it today, bro.
Yes,
Look forward to how God continues to move.
And you're up next week, Will. So
I am. I'm up next. Don't mess up. No,
thanks, Pat, for dropping in, bro. Appreciate it. Say hi to Victoria for us.
Yes.
Other kids.
Yes.
All right, bro.
Squad heavy, bro.
Peace.
Hey,
that joker got some serious guys, man.
That brother he can squat.
I know he can.
He can deadlift. He can deadlift.
I'm not looking at the man's thighs, okay? I know y'all.
But you can appreciate. Okay, listen.
Okay, so
we are
not looking at his thighs.
Okay.
Like looking at his thighs. We're looking at his thighs like, bro.
Yeah. This brother can deadlift.
Bro.
Like, I understand where y'all coming from.
It's a motivating thing. It's not
it's like inspiring.
It's an inspiring thing.
I'm inspired. Challenge. Like.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, we're back in the 48 lower. Okay, we're not in Hawaii anymore.
Come back.
Bring it back.
Come on back.
Oh my God.
No, but on the real though, service was amazing today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about what God's doing. God's doing some pretty incredible things. He's opened up some doors that just blew us away.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple things just for us to talk about, and we'll have a chance to unpack this over the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We're super excited about the potential that Jim Pumpman, who wrote the book Real Life Discipleship, that we're coming into we're coming into week 10 of 12.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jim is wrote the book, and hopefully next month we should have him come in, do a workshop for us. So we're really excited about that happening.
I need to link up with him. Get him on the pod then.
Bro, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
100%.
Yes.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then on top of that,
we'll potentially be here like 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
We can set that up.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. That way we can really talk.
Okay.
And then also God blessed us in an incredible way. Harlem and Vanya from Indonesia.
Okay.
They should be coming in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And
are they permanent now?
They're coming in just to visit for
okay.
a couple weeks.
Okay.
And but while they're in town, they're gonna be able to preach for us and do a workshop for us on relational discipling. So they actually literally just went through a whole series with the C region, that's the Southeast Asian churches, walking them through how to help people to become disciples of Jesus through relational Bible studies.
I would be interested for them to talk about just being a disciple in Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
because that is not the Christian. That is not that is not the dominant thing going on. It's that's definitely Muslim, Hindu kind of area right there. So just to thrive in that area is, I bet they have amazing stories.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about that, about how we'll have those two amazing folks come in and be able to connect with us through the podcast. But God's opening up these doors. As God has opened up the door for us to reopen, He's also answering our 9:38 prayers. Matthew 9:38 every night. Every 9:38 in the morning and 9:38 at night here in Potomac Valley, we pray for workers. And God is sending us the Putmans, sending us the Salems, and sending us many others just to help us as we really seek to build up the wall and spread the gospel. So big things are going on.
So we're going to get back to gas, or what are we going to do?
I think we're going to let the gas go.
Okay. But I think where we were going, I think that it's only a matter of time before something else happens.
Right.
Right. I think
stuff throw you.
I don't want to say wrap my head around gas.
Yeah.
But I know it's something that it's happened before.
Right.
Like I remember when my wife and I first got married, we went to Vegas. We took a trip to Vegas. Right. It was right. I remember it was actually the year after, because it was going on and Obama was about to be. It was doing the primaries and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember wanting to get there so I could watch the primaries and learn more about them and things like that. And it was during the gas shortage then, where it was way worse. That was an actual shortage, because I remember we had to take connecting flights, And then it was such a week where you're going out west, you know, you're going to go to Charlotte or something like that before you go out, and we got stuck in Charlotte because the plane left us. It was, and then they didn't have any gas there. So we luckily found a taxi that could take us to the hotel because they paid for us because it was their fault to spend the night. And then we had a flight at like 6 a.m. But I remember watching the news and, you know, in the hotel and just watching people there in North Carolina fight. You know what I mean? But I think that the toilet paper thing was kind of surprising because it was like, why that?
Yeah.
Is there a shortage of wood? Like, are we not making paper anymore?
You know, I think when people are going through a time of panic, they try to get something they can control.
Feel secure in too.
Yeah.
And you know, and so I think people felt like, all right, so you know, let's go make sure that we have gas in case it all goes down. You know, and the truth is there's been a lot of fear in the system. And I think that's why I was saying, look, we're done with the pandemic. Because I think really what I'm trying to communicate is we're done with fear. We're just done with fear. Like we're done playing these fear games where we go upside down and inside out and up and down all the time. Like unreal, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You got to decide how you're going to respond to what's going to happen. Because it's going to happen. So what if we were to run out of gas? I think we would still survive.
I think my issue is
if you run out of toilet paper, I don't know about that. I don't know.
But I think
that's all I gotta say.
No, like but we're in the this is the information age, right?
Yes.
And we can pretty much, if you want to, you can figure out whether things are true or false,
right?
Within a given percentage or so. You can, for the most part, you can figure out a lot of things more than before, because you had had your newspaper and then maybe some strange publication that you got, maybe or something like that in the mail, or something that you subscribe to. But now with the power of the internet, we can look at articles from all around the world, and people have blogs and things like that. And I know that lately they've been kind of used for nefarious purposes, but there are a lot of good journalists and things like that out there that prove a lot of this stuff to be false. And I think that it's so weird that we have so much information at our fingertips, we're falling for things a whole lot more, which you would think that okay, so when we didn't have information and say if the New York Times put out something, you're more likely to believe it because it's the New York Times, and there's no other contradictory outlet to kind of go against that. Now, if you just Google something,
you can source
it, right? And it's now it's like, no, I don't want to source it. I believe it. I believe what you said, and woe is me.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. I think you're onto something, because straight up, Anton, we're talking about this with we got together with Marcus and Lexi, and we're just kind of vibing with them, talking about how the brain finds what it's looking for.
Yes.
Kit was talking about Uncle G and how your mind finds what it's looking for.
Right.
If you are looking for stuff to freak you out, it's funny, it finds you. If you're looking for positive stuff, it finds you.
If you're looking for sad things,
it finds you.
You will find them.
Well, I know that if you're looking for things to be offended about,
you will find
it.
And so what I realize is Jesus, right? Seek and you'll find. Knock and the door will be open to you. We've got to decide what we're going to pursue and what direction we really want to take. And what I propose is, how about we let go of fear? Let's let go of fear. And I'm not talking about appropriate fear. There are things you should be afraid of, God.
Yeah.
You should fear God.
Yes.
People, not so much. What benefit is there really to fearing people? What benefit is there to really fearing what people think about you? And I think letting go of fear is critical, because our world seems to be led by the nose by fear.
Yeah.
And then the fears are revealed to be unwarranted, legitimately.
Yeah.
The pipeline got turned back on. You did not have to pay $20. There's people that pay $20 a gallon for gas, $10 a gallon for gas, $8 a gallon for gas.
Yeah.
When gas is selling for $2, $3 tops, but fear will cause you to do some really crazy things. And there's a lot of fear in the system. So I think a big part of being greater every day is recognizing it's time to grow up.
Yeah.
And a part of growing up is you got to let go of fear.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to let go of fear without intentionally having a relationship with God.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
exactly.
Just
we don't have anything to cling to.
Yeah,
or the things that you cling to are very concrete and tangible. All you have is another person,
yes,
or something like that. That's kind of not very strong.
Yeah,
it won't hold up over the test of time. But having God is, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And I think that's the thing. That's what this world is missing, man. I think people have to understand. That's why we got to share our faith, people. Like, because people are longing for this place where they don't have to be afraid anymore.
No.
They don't like being afraid. Like, nobody likes to be for even these people who are going to the gas station, and they're hoarding gas. Usually it's out of fear, yes, and selfishness, but also out of fear that they're gonna run out and they're not gonna be provided for.
You're living in a scarcity mentality.
Exactly.
But I think that, like, you said, okay, what would happen if we ran out of gas? Right? I know for me, if one of my brothers called,
be there.
I'd be there.
Yeah.
I'd be siphoning my tank out. Like, I can give you like a gallon.
Yeah,
I can get like a gallon, and
I'll
be over there.
Right. Yeah, and that. But the truth is, we are blessed to be able to be a part of a community, and that's why I think it's so important that folks, that as we're exploring where God is going to take us, as we are coming out of the pandemic, we're going to claim it right here. We done. We done with the pandemic.
You have the CDC calling your phone.
Hey man, we done, man. Hey, look.
Well, we're going like the CDC said something. I know you said, you were like, because I understand. I think you understand though, because I know you.
Right.
When the CDC said no more mask on was it Thursday? Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
I know what I thought. I was like, oh, what? Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And then I started going in places after that. I'm like,
everybody got
on well, I'm the oddball now.
Yes, everybody got on a mask.
Wait a minute. That they just
people looking at you crazy.
Yeah, they just said, I'm like, wait a minute, why is the sign still on the door? They just
they weren't ready to adjust.
But that's fear.
It's fear.
Because we've heard, like, trust the science. Okay, the science said we're good now. No, I'm still afraid. I'm still afraid. No.
But here's the thing. But I legitimately think it's important for us to give people time to make the adjustment. I respect that.
Okay.
So like today at church, we didn't drop the mask. We kept the mask because we said we're going to do that. And you can't just be changing stuff on the time.
We said it at the beginning of the week that we were going to have the mask, so we can't just change it on Friday.
But but I will say this.
Was anybody there that they didn't have a mask?
No, everybody
had a
mask.
Really?
Everybody respected it.
Yeah. And we also had
I knew you were waiting. But here's the thing. Straight up, though. So everybody was respectful of that.
Okay.
But we're going to take the next couple of weeks. We're going to talk to the professionals. And we're going to move very progressively and truthfully, very aggressively, to be able to remove masks from people that have gotten the vaccine. But we also respect that there's a contingent of people that have not got the vaccine
and don't want to,
that have legitimate concerns. And we want to make sure those folks know it's okay for you to wear a mask. But we respect that. And that's the tension of being a community that extends our hearts to those that are on the right as well as on the left. Is we recognize we don't all have to be homogeneous. We don't all have to agree to do the same things. But one thing I will say, let's let go of fear. Let's let go of fear. Let's choose to trust God, choose to believe God, choose to believe that God will do and is doing immeasurably more than all we can ask or imagine. And then let's watch the miracles happen. Because today was a miracle. And that brother preached the word, did a fantastic job. The worship leaders did a fantastic job. And I can't wait to see the miracles God does this summer. It's going to be real good.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a good time. I'm looking forward to getting back to normal. I cannot wait. I hate masks.
Done.
I'm sorry. Hopefully that doesn't trigger anybody, but
hey,
I can't stand it.
Hey, I'm a woman. I like my makeup, and I can't wear my makeup when I have to wear a mask because it's gross. It gets all brown and red. You're like, oh. So, I don't want to wear a mask either. Y'all don't even have that problem. I don't even feel bad for y'all.
Yeah, you're right. You don't wear makeup.
The problem with, I don't know, is your breath.
Yes.
Your breath. I gotta make sure my breath game is on point.
And then you just keep,
because you get in there and you're like,
oh man.
I should have.
Like, whoa, I need a minute. This is what I'm doing to people?
I This is what I've been doing.
No. Hey, so on that point, so we talked about gas, we talked about bad breath, and we also had the preacher on talking to us about what his dreams and visions are about where God's really wanting to direct him. So we're super excited about what God's doing. I want to encourage you as you go into this week, let go of fear. You might not be able to let go of all of it all at once. Little by little, step by step, let's mature our way out of being controlled by fear and not be blown back and forth by the winds of teaching that are brought to us by people in their deceitful scheming. But instead, let's be mature. Let's choose righteousness, choose what's godly, choose God's way. And we pray that this week, every day, you just get a little bit greater. Yeah. Every day, you'll be greater every day. This has been the Greater Everyday Podcast. We talk about the real issues.
Yes, I just want to say this before we close out. If you are listening and you don't know how to get rid of your fear and you don't know how to have a relationship with God, I do want to encourage you. We're here for you. So Anton, how would they reach out to us?
Very simply. If you're looking at this on Facebook, send us a DM. Just click the link that takes us to your main Greater Everyday Podcast page. Send me a message. It comes right to my phone. Send us an email at greatereverydaypodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you are one of our brothers and sisters in our church community, please download the Pova app, and you can reach out to some of the staff members that way. Or, just send us an email. Our phone number's in there. We will get you the help you need.
Yeah, we really try to make it our game. Yeah. Our aim to be super accessible. Yeah. So we really hope that you can connect with us.
Yeah. So, but definitely. Thank you for mentioning that. Amen. I definitely want to help people. And so I know I have my own plans for our the thing that we talked about on was that Wednesday? Yeah. I'm drawing up my plans. They're very ambitious, and so I don't know because I woke up this morning, I saw an article about that structure. Wow. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm about to go take a look at that. And I got some plans.
All right.
All right. Do some things. But yes, thank you for mentioning that.
My pleasure.
Yeah, we're all in, man. We're about to get into the community like we've never gotten in before. We're about to do some things like we've never done before. But like Kai said, we're about to also have some barbecues, some bonfires, some incredible times together. So super excited. The winter of our discontent has ended. It is over. It is done.
It is over.
It is over. We are declaring it done. We are moving forward with faith and without fear. But want to encourage you every day. Choose to be greater every day. This has been the Greater Everyday Podcast, place where we talk about the real issues. Demonize no one, deify no one. Just deal straight, deal real. See you on the other side.
Hey, guys.
All right. Bye.